I really appreciate you joining me today, and this news comes from London. The CCTV of the moment that Jermaine Cools was stabbed by Marques Walker, who was 17 years old, has been released by the police. It shows the moment that Marques pulls out a knife that is known as a zombie killer and proceeds to stab Jermaine Cools several times. I've covered this story twice in the past 2 years, and today his killer has finally been sentenced. Jermaine was only 14 years old when at 20-7 on the 18th of November 2021, police were called to reports of a large fight outside the chicken shop on London Road in Croydon. A group of youths were fighting in the doorway, and while the fight was going on, Marques Walker walked over to the fight and he was caught on CCTV. They said he was very calm and he pulled out a large knife, and Jermaine had fell over, and at that moment was when Walker then ran towards him and stabbed him. Walker repeatedly lunged at Jermaine with the knife, and Jermaine rolled on the floor trying to avoid being stabbed. However, he was stabbed multiple times, and then the defendant ran off and was caught on several different forms of CCTV carrying the knife away from the scene. A member of the public approached Jermaine, who was bleeding heavily, and helped him into the car and drove him to Croydon Hospital. Despite the best efforts of emergency staff, Jermaine succumbed to his injuries and died at 10-8 the same day. So I'd like to send my respects to the person that helped to try to save his life as well. The quick thinking actions of that person could have potentially have resulted in him being with us today. But due to the catastrophic injuries that he suffered, nothing was able to save him. A post-mortem took place on the 20th of November 2021, and they found that he suffered 7 stab wounds to his body, and the fatal wound was a stab wound to the chest that pierced the lung. The murder investigation began immediately, and the defendant was quickly identified via CCTV inquiries. However, he left his home the day after the murder, after it was circulated that he was wanted. The police said in court that he went to great lengths to avoid being detected, and the police used a proactive team to hunt him for 6 weeks. He was finally arrested when the police attended an address to conduct an arrest inquiry for a different person, and they found Walker, who was hiding under a bed. He gave a false name but was arrested on the 17th of December 2021 for an unrelated matter. It was while he was at the police station that he finally revealed his name and was later arrested for murder. Inquiries into the defendant's background revealed that he was a habitual knife carrier, and he already had one conviction for possession of an offensive weapon, which was a 10-inch knife, and this was discovered on school premises. However, he had also been arrested multiple times, and on the 12th of April 2021, he was found in possession of another long knife and again arrested. On the 16th of October, he was arrested on a bus in Croydon, and when they searched him, they found him in possession again of a zombie-style knife. He was charged with the offence and bailed, and 6 weeks later, he murdered Jermaine. On the 4th of April 2022, so this is nearly a year after, a guard at Feltham Youth Offenders Institute was going through his property, and they discovered rap lyrics that referred to the attack on Jermaine. The lyrics said, "I had young Stardog doing roly-poly, but now then I had to duck from the police on me, 'cause I left him deceased and I'd done high knees." Stardog was the street name for one of Jermaine's relatives. He went on to say in the lyrics that we had Mumsy grieving, I left Mandem spleeching, I had Mandem looking at his wounds, like shit, then I think I'm bleeding. On Friday the 1st of July 2022, while Walker was on remand for Jermaine's murder at HMP, he pled guilty to a separate offence of GBH. It was during his time before sentencing that him and 3 others attacked another detainee. They said that he kicked somebody and then they all stamped on him and left him unconscious and very seriously injured. The victim required life-saving surgery for the brain injuries that were inflicted by Walker inside prison. And this week at the Old Bailey, Marques Walker, 17 years old from Bromley, Kent, aged 16 at the time, was sentenced to life in prison with a minimum of 19 years. The senior investigating officer, Richard Vanderberg, said Jermaine was only 14 years old when he was stabbed to death. He was a child, and we cannot ignore the fact that children are dying on the streets of London as a result of knife crime. Jermaine's family have been left devastated. A child with his whole life ahead of him brutally snatched away. Jermaine's family have spoken out about knife crime, and I hope that their courage in speaking may stop another family from losing their child to this evil crime. Walker was able to obtain knife after knife, and anyone that's seen the images of these weapons would know how serious they were and the devastation that they caused to his family. So really appreciate you joining me today for this story, and I really want you to pay respects in the comments. And also I want to hear everybody's thoughts on this story and the other stories featured. Rest in peace to Jermaine Cools, and please don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel. Peace.